Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 50s Chicks podcast. I'm Anna Lee.
And I am Patricia.
That was a long one. We hope you're having a great week and that you are having fun and being safe on those mean streets of dating and dating online specifically, which is a tough way to be.
Very tough. Yes, a tough thing to be a part of.
Yes, it is.
And doing your self-care.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes. Exactly. Take a moment, even if it's a brief one, every day to just a moment for yourself.
And I am going to co-sign on sitting in your car before you get out. 5 minutes, just sit. I do that.
Yes.
You'd be surprised at how that will put you at ease, especially before you go in the house, go into work.
Before all this other stuff starts.
Just sit for a minute and,
Yeah. All right. So today we are going to continue our OMS series. And as we all know, OMS stands for Old Man Syndrome. Old Man Syndrome, if you don't know what it is basically an old man believing that this young woman, significantly younger woman, is interested in him
younger
for him and not for his money or, things that he has. So, yeah.
Well, I would even say that it is more him going after a younger woman.
Yes.
Thinking that this younger girl is, like you say, interested in him for himself.
For him. For him.
Because I don't want to, put that on those girls because they provide an environment that would allow them to do that. Mm-hmm. They are going after those young girls. So, yeah.
Although, like our commenter said, they are coming after me or they're coming after you.
Yes.
Well, not exactly. They're saying that they're willing to date you.
Right. Or even just saying hi to you.
Yeah.
Saying hi to you, you think they like.
Yes. So, they might approach you, but, if you were that janitor at the high school, think about that. Would they come after you?
They're not coming to you.
I don't.
They're not even going to acknowledge your advances, Mm-mm. So, but I put it more on them. On the old man.
It's the man, yes.
Because they are providing an environment whereby the young girl, is able to do what this. And I don't fault her at all for reaping the reward of their ridiculousness. To me, I don't fault them at all. Okay, so in particular, there's a particular OMS. Oh gosh, what do you call it? When they have OMS, what are they?
Pedophiles?
When you're afflicted with something? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with
sufferer?
that. Is it a sufferer?
No.
That is right. I think that's what I was thinking of. OMS sufferer. I think they're suffering with it because they end up in a fix.
Yeah.
But OMS sufferer. Well, but yes, one in particular that has been in the news a few months ago. I don't know if any of our viewers are familiar with Russell Simmons, the co-founder of Def Records, I think, production company. He also, I remember him growing up in the 80s with Def Comedy Jam. Was it, is it 80s or 90s? I think it was 80s.
80s.
Okay. Yeah, Def Comedy Jam is what I remember. Maybe it was 80s, 90s.
I think it maybe late 80s into the 90s.
Yes, yeah. But yes, Def Comedy Jam, which I thought was fantastic. And it appears as though his daughter, I'm hoping I'm saying it, Aoki, was seen with her boyfriend, who is, I believe, 65 years old.
And how old is she?
Aoki is 21 years old.
Okay.
And the pictures, apparently they were, her boyfriend is Assaf Vittorio, or is it Vittorio Assaf? Vittorio Assaf, and I know I'm butchering that name. Mm. He is an Italian restaurateur. Never heard of him? Tor? Mm-hmm. Never heard of him, but apparently he has a gazillion amount of money. And they were seen in April on the beach in St. Bart in their bathing gear. He was taking pictures of her. I saw the pictures, and I was jarred. It was jarring because Aoki she looks like a young girl. She looks like, I mean, not a young woman, a young girl. She is very, very slim. She's a model. Mm-hmm. And she's also a Harvard graduate, too.
Oh, wow.
I know, kudos to her. Mm-hmm. But she's very slim, the body of like a young child, I would say. Mm-hmm. And he was full on 65. I mean, all the 65 oldness. Mm. And it looked to me, it was just, I don't know. It was...
Does he have children?
Yes, he does. He has.
How old are they?
He has I think a 22 or 23-year-old son and a 17-year-old daughter.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And I think he recently divorced, maybe 2018, from his wife, of which, and I was surprised because, and she was a model, but their age difference was, I don't know, maybe 12 or 13 years. I was expecting it to be way more than that. But yeah, so they were on the beach. Somebody got a picture of them together. And there was one picture that they were kissing. And that was, I think, the picture that sent everyone into a frenzy. Again, Aoki is very young looking. Mm-hmm. Like, very young looking.
So that's going to look very pedophilic. Yes. Like you're wondering, should I call the cops? Like, yes. What am I going to do?
It was something that would make you like
cringe.
Yeah. And be wondering and be, looking at her in a caring way, like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Mm-hmm. I mean, I would have thought that had I seen that in real life, like, oh my gosh, is she okay? That is how jarring it was just to see the pictures, and everyone reacted to the pictures, and it was a whole big thing. And apparently they have since broken up, which it just pains me to say broken up, because
if
that would mean that there was some sort of relationship that existed. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think a week after everything broke, I think they were saying that they broke up. Now, some history on the Simmons family. Her mom, Kimora, was a model. And, well, now she's a businesswoman. I mean, she does fashion, all that stuff. She had a clothing line, Baby Fat. I don't know if you're familiar with it. But she is accomplished. She married Aoki's dad. I think there was issues about her age. I think very young. She met him like when she was 16 or 17 as a model, and they got married. He was in his 30s. I think she was in her teens, like 18 or 19 or something like that. So everyone was saying, okay, she's following her mom, But Kimora did make a statement. She said that it was kind of embarrassing, that for that to happen. And
well, they don't want people to see that, right?
Yeah, and that was
like typically that's one of the things that we hear from the guys we know that have been dating ridiculously young girls is that, oh my gosh, I broke up with her because she wouldn't let him meet the family,
Yeah,
or
her friends.
wouldn't go out in public, basically. I mean, that's kind of a standard thing, right?
Yeah, I guess I think for probably for the most part. But in this situation, I don't know if the mother knew about it or not, but I know when they asked her how did she feel about it when it came out, she said that she's a bit embarrassed. And I think just the fact that it was publicized is what I think the embarrassment. I don't know if I don't know of any statement where she made regarding the relationship itself. I don't know. It may be something out there, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I think it was more the public
right
knew about it. And those pictures, I'm telling you, the pictures, and we'll put some here, the bathing suit on the beach, those are very, jarring pictures. And it makes me wonder, and, a man that old, that's not an older man, that's an old man. That's a grandfather man, How, I don't know, I just don't understand the mindset of an old man. Nothing good comes to mind to approach a young looking girl. She looks like a kid. And to sexualize her. There's something that is
amiss.
Yes, it just makes,
and it's definitely tough to look at because it does, I don't know, it just, because like in your mind you're like somebody called 911.
Yes, because I can imagine if that was my daughter, there would there would be so many. I don't know. I can't. Let me just stop thinking about it because I'm getting stirred up. But for a man, like what in the conversation, what relational, what, there is nothing.
Nothing.
So then what's left? What's left? There is nothing relational. He could have grandchildren her age.
Yeah.
He married a woman that was 12 or 13 years younger than him. So his kids are because he could have 30 something year old kids, So I don't know. It ain't right.
It doesn't sit right.
It don't sit right. 44-year age difference.
Yeah, that's
another middle-aged person.
Yeah, that's a middle-aged person right there. That's too
44.
much.
There is nothing. There's nothing compatible. There is nothing.
From what I've seen too, like when you're looking at some of these Reddit stories, when you're talking about, much younger girls being with these older men, for the most part, it's not a long-term thing, it's a short-term thing, but the few times when it has been, I shouldn't say long-term, but at least, some years, oftentimes it becomes more like a caregiver role that the person takes on.
Oh, for sure. If the 20-year-old is marrying a 50-year-old, she's taking care of a 70-year-old when she's in her prime.
Right.
And in this Aoki Vittorio situation, obviously I just don't foresee any such marriage. I can't even imagine. But if they stay
together, like you're talking about 4 years, then he's 70 and then
a senior citizen, no, it's not that, all of those things make no sense.
No.
And he doesn't care. I'm not saying him, Vittorio, I'm just saying the old man. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna stop saying older because it's old man. Because older could be 25.
Yeah.
Old man is not thinking about that young girl on so many levels. And that's why I would be hesitant to even want to date someone with OMS or recovering OMS, because there's something about them that is off.
Well, we can't have them around our teenage daughters or young daughters,
because they're, even if they're not approaching them, they're sexualizing them, and that's the problem. So looking at them as a potential partner is the problem. And like I said, there's nothing relational. There is no commonality at all other than the fact they share the same species. That's it. So what is it then? I think there's a group of these men that prey, and I'm using the word prey, on these young girls because these young girls, we all know, those of us that were young girls, are very impressionable. They're naive. They respond to men in a way that is authority, like they're a sense of authority, or what's the other word? I keep losing my words. But they are, how young girls, like I said, I was one. You don't want to say something to hurt someone's feeling. They might not want to do whatever it is, but they go ahead and do it, especially when they're being manipulated into it. And those old guys know how to do that. And especially when it comes to the money part. I have this money, I'll do this. You want this? I'll take care of you. I'll do this. I'll buy you this. You want, this baby doll. You want this, let me stop. But it's tantamount to the same thing. You want all these things that little girls want, whatever. It's to me, it's predatory, and it's scary to me. And I would not, or I would have to think long and hard about choosing a partner that would be okay with doing that. Because good men care about women and girls, right?
Yeah, and you would think that somebody, especially someone that has a daughter, because they don't want their daughter to be dating someone that old. Like, there's no way, no father that I ever knew was like, oh, I hope my 20-year-old gets together with some 60, 70-year-old.
No. And I have asked every man that I've met that told me that they dated these young girls, and I'm talking 20, 19 teenagers and 20. How would they feel if I always ask them, how would they feel if their young daughter was dating someone that old? And they all had a problem with it. And one of them, I asked, why? What would be the problem? And one of them said, because there's something wrong with him. And I'm looking at him like, yeah, there is. There is something wrong.
There's a certain lack of introspection there.
It's like a predatory, manipulative vibe. It is not, because like I said, good guys care for and don't exploit women and girls. They don't. And if you're seeking and luring a young girl, then you're not a good guy, because you're manipulating, you're exploiting. You're thinking of what you want over the safety and well-being of
the other person, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what it is. Because if you have a problem with your daughter, then you see the harm in that.
Yeah, you do see the problem.
Harm. And it is harmful. Yes. It is. Yes. Manipulating anyone is harmful.
Yeah.
And luring and exploiting. Like, good guys don't do that. They don't. Nope. And they know, intellectually, they know that little girl is not attracted to them in any way at all. They know that.
Yeah.
As the person that they are, that old man knows that. And he knows he has to do all these other things, which is manipulation, exploitation.
Yeah.
And I stand 10 toes on that.
Yeah.
And
it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But Aoki, I guess, has severed ties.
And hopefully she'll find someone closer to her age.
Or no one.
Or no one.
Yes. But yeah. So.
Well, we're definitely going to see what you think about this. We want to hear your comments. Yes. What do you guys think about these kind of things? We'd love to hear your opinion.
Yes. Either way, I would love to hear someone else's opinion about, these.
Don't be afraid to be controversial, people. Yes, definitely let us know. And make sure that if you watch us on YouTube, that you subscribe, thumbs up, like. And we are also on Spotify,
Yes.
Facebook, Twitter,
Instagram.
and TikTok. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to live,
Laugh.
and connect.
Bye.